Hey everyone, Jake here for American Muscle, and in this video we're taking a look at the adjustable rear tow arms with spherical bearings fitting 2008 to 2023 Challengers. Whether you've already lowered your Challenger, are planning to do so, or just want to improve your car's handling prowess, these adjustable tow arms will be right up your alley. They'll allow for better adjustment so you can dial in your car's handling just the way you like it, and they do it for an affordable price. Getting your alignment right is crucial to handling, especially with a heavier car like the Challenger. Now, toe angle is especially important for this as it can affect not only tire wear, but how your car behaves. If you're not familiar, toe is measured in degrees and refers to the angle of the wheels when you're looking dead on at them from either the front or the rear of the car. Most cars are going to come from the factory with pretty much 0 degrees of toe in or toe out. Toe in means the wheels and tires are going to be angled toward the front of the car, with toe out meaning the opposite, where the wheels and tires are going to be pointing in toward the rear of the car. Now, a bit of toe in or toe out can work in your favor as far as handling goes, but too much can cause excessive tire wear and can make your car more difficult to control, especially out on the street, since you're going to be fighting against the wheels to move forward. Now, this measurement can be effective when you lower your car or load it up with stuff, such as when the car leans into a turn or when the suspension gets loaded up and you got a bunch of stuff in the trunk. But as with anything, you want this in moderation, otherwise you're going to burn through tires and compromise your ride and handling. That's where these come in. Especially if you've lowered the car already, you're likely going to get too much toe and need to correct it, and the stock links just aren't going to cut it. They just don't have the adjustability that you need. Thankfully, these do. These will replace the limiting cam bolt style factory adjustment and give you more adjustability. In fact, they give you two-way adjustability to get things dialed in. So they're going to allow for up to 3 degrees of adjustment in either direction, so you have plenty of leeway to get things set up exactly the way you want them, and you can adjust it depending on how you raise or lower your car. You can dial in a little bit more for an autocross or a track day, dial it back towards 0 for hitting the drag strip or the daily commute. You also get a set of spherical bearings up here at the top with polyurethane bushings down on the other side. Now, both of which are going to be much more solid than the factory rubber bushings. They're both going to allow for less play in the wheel hub side where they mount, and less movement in the suspension arm means improved handling. They're constructed from heavy-duty steel, and I really think solid is the best way to describe them. Over top of that steel, you get a really nice 3-stage powder coat for lots of protection against corrosion and rust. And they're finished in this really nice dark red. It's almost a metallic type of finish. In fact, there's a little bit of metal flake in that paint too. So they look cool as well. It's actually a shame that they're going to be so difficult to see once they're mounted on the car. Now, on the body side, you get new sleeved polyurethane bushings, and of course on the knuckle end, you get those hefty spherical bushings we were talking about earlier, as well as the corrosion-resistant finish over the heavy-duty knuckle. Now, I keep coming back to the word solid, but the build quality is quite good here, especially considering the price. Coming in around $300, that's not a lot of coin for something that can make a pretty significant difference in the way your car drives. And these are going to be quite a bit more affordable than some of the other options out there on the market, even some of the fixed ones. So if you want that adjustability, this is about the least expensive way to get it. And for that reason alone, I'd say they're worth the price of entry. Installation is going to get a 2 out of 3 on our difficulty meter, and the job should take you around 2 hours to complete. The process overall is pretty simple. It's really just 2 bolts, but you are going to have to get up in there to access those bolts. It's also very important to remember that once you've got this done and you've kind of eyeballed it where you want it, go get an alignment done. Even if you're able to eyeball them into about the same place, an alignment is crucial to making the most for this modification. But enough of me preaching about it, let's head on out to the shop now and we'll walk you through the process.
Tools required for this install include a couple different size impact guns, a couple different size extensions, 15, 18, and 27 millimeter wrenches, 1.25 inch wrench, a pair of scissors or diagonal cutters, a flathead screwdriver, some zip ties, an 18 millimeter socket, and an 18 millimeter swivel socket. What's up, guys? Today we're installing some rear tow arms on our Challenger, so let's get started. Now, to remove our tow arm, it's going to be done differently on both sides. On the passenger side, you can get access to both of those bolts. However, the driver's side is going to be the problem child. Our back bolt is going to be blocked by our spare tire pan here. So we're going to have to drop the subframe down to be able to get our bolt out. Or alternatively, you could take the nut off the other side, slide this bolt out a little bit to be able to cut it, because we do have a replacement bolt that you can put through in the opposite direction. So now for the driver's side, we are going to be dropping our subframe. So first we're going to pop off these couple clips off of our tow arm. So this inner one, you can just spread and pull off. The one closer to the outside is a different type of clip. So you're gonna pull up on this top piece and then get a flathead screwdriver in there. Pop that clip apart. So now starting on the outside of our arm, we're gonna take a 18mm socket and an 18mm wrench to remove this bolt. Now we can come back to our inner bolt. We've got this nut up here. We're gonna get an 18mm wrench on the bolt side on the other side of our subframe and a 18mm swivel socket to remove our nut. So now if we come back to our bolt that we need to remove, we can see if we push it, it's gonna hit right on there. So now with this out far enough, you could get a cutting tool on there to cut the head of the bolt off, and then you could push it out the other way if you wanted to. However, we're gonna do it the harder but the right way and drop our subframe down to get the clearance we need to pull this out. So now we can start at our rear subframe mount. We've got an 18mm bolt. So I'm gonna take an 18mm socket and an extension to loosen this up. We're not gonna pull this all the way out. We're just gonna loosen it up and we can go back and forth on our two mounts on this side until we have enough clearance to pull that bolt out. Now moving on to our frontward mount, we have a bolt here. Now we have this hole in our little splash guard that we can get up through and onto that bolt, and we'll just slowly back this off. So now I've got a couple pole jacks here supporting the weight of our subframe. Now for this back mount, I'm gonna fully remove this bolt. And I'm gonna start to lower down this pole jack here. And then we can go to the back mount of our tow arm and remove that bolt. So now with our subframe lowered down a few inches, that should give us enough clearance to slide this bolt out and fully remove our arm. So now that we have our factory tow arm removed, we're gonna use this to adjust our new one. We're gonna get this lined up to the length of the stock one. It's not gonna be perfect, but it's gonna be good enough to get you to the alignment shop to get it professionally done. Now the way I'm gonna be adjusting this is by using the factory inner bolt and the new one that's included in the kit. So I'm gonna take that factory bolt. We're gonna connect both of these together using that so that we keep this nice and straight. And then we're gonna do the same thing on the front. We're gonna adjust this until these two line up. So you can pop these out for now. And we'll just start threading this out. One thing to keep in mind is in reference to this middle nut, you don't want more than 2 inches of thread from the red to this side of the nut, and you also don't want 2 inches from here to here as well. So once you make your adjustment, you can pop these back in and then put your bolt through to check it. And that slides through nicely, so we can go ahead and tighten down our 2 jam nuts. The bigger one is gonna go up against the red here. And then you'll take an 1.25 inch wrench or an adjustable wrench, snug that down. And then your second jam nut is gonna go up against the middle one here. Snug that up, and then you can take a 27mm wrench to tighten that one. And then you can do that same thing for your other arm, and we can get these installed in the car. So now that we have our tow arm adjusted, we're gonna get this installed into the inner mount first. We've got a new bolt with a square plate. This is gonna go in place of that eccentric bolt. So we'll get that slid in, and then we have another plate and a nut to go on the other side. Now I'm gonna slide the kinked end into our rear mount. And then I can slide that bolt in once I get it all lined up. And I'm gonna put the other plate and nut on the other side. And I'm just gonna leave that hand tight for now. Now we can reinstall our outward bolt. And we'll get our nut back on the other side of that. Now we can thread our subframe bolt back in. And then with that second level of security, we can start raising our subframe back up into place. I'm just gonna walk this bolt up as we go. And then we can go back with our socket and tighten both of our mounts down. So now we'll take that 18mm socket and tighten this down. And now we can come to our front subframe mount. We'll go through the splash guard again and tighten that down with the same 18mm socket. So now we can tighten down our outer bolt using that same 18mm wrench and socket as before. And now we can go back and tighten down our last bolt. So I've got an 18mm socket on the nut side, and I'm getting a 15mm wrench on the bolt side to tighten that down. So now last thing we need to do is secure our wire to our toe arm. Now these factory clips kind of fit around, but not really, since we have a thicker diameter here. So I'm gonna put them around how they go. They're not gonna stay like that. So we can put some zip ties there to hold it in place. Now, if you wanted to clean this up, you can actually pop off this whole little bracket with the clips and then just zip tie the wire here. So I'll get those on, and I'm just gonna zip tie that little bracket so then we're not pinching the wire. We'll put a zip tie on and then take a pair of scissors or diagonal cutters to cut off that excess. And then I'm gonna throw another one at the back here. Again, I'm going under the wire so we don't pinch that up against our arm. Now, once you got the driver's side done, you've got the hard part out of the way. The passenger side, you have full access to both of your bolts, so you'll just use the same tools that we use for these bolts, but you don't have to worry about dropping a subframe. So that'll wrap up this review and install of the adjustable rear toe arms with spherical bushings for your 2008 and newer Challenger. Thank you for watching, and for all things Challenger, keep it right here at AmericanMuscle.com.